Hey guys, welcome to Jawns of Basketball, episode 7. I'm John Stewart. I'm here with my good friend Alex Shama.
Yeah, I'm Alex, or the other John. First name is John. And today we're going to be talking about a few things. First, we're going to be relating our top 10 for the draft. I'm going to be doing it in relating to teams, and John's going to be doing it just based on pure talent. Then we're going to be doing the All-NBA teams and who we think the midseason award winners would be at this point in the season.
I think we're actually going to flip those around. I think we're going to do the awards and stuff first.
Yeah, my bad.
No, you're good. No problem.
So anyway, either way, first we are going to go into our draft top 10 first.
Wait, we are going draft first?
Yes.
Okay, let's do draft. Let's do draft first then.
Yeah.
Okay, so as Alex said, I did mine kind of based on talent, and Alex is doing his based more on how good these players, or like the teams, you know what I'm trying to say, like team fit, et cetera, et cetera. I'm doing mine solely off talent.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll be pretty similar, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like at least at the top. I mean, in the middle, nobody knows.
Yeah.
Even if you're doing it based off talent, nobody knows. So we'll see what happens there. But let's get into it. First, Phoenix Suns. Who do you have?
I mean, come on, Zion. That's obviously Zion.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, my problem is if they have any inclination of keeping Josh Jackson in their future, which I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest. If I'm the general manager, I don't think they give a shit about Josh Jackson.
I mean, he's definitely like an okay dude. Like he has some potential, etc. Whatever. If they're really high on him, which they're the Phoenix Suns, so they might be. I mean, I could see them trading down and getting RJ, accumulate another asset. I think that's the wrong move, but I could see it.
My thing is just if you have a chance at Zion, you gotta get Zion.
Yeah,
I mean,
but also the Zion DeAndre Ayton fit isn't amazing. It's
No.
not. It's actually
No.
not. It's not good.
no, it's not. I completely agree with this. But when you have an opportunity to get someone that has the potential of Zion Williamson, no team in the league will ever pass that up.
Do you look to shop DeAndre?
I'd say you see how it works first, and if it doesn't work, you shop DeAndre. I think you try to make it work.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. In mine, not based off teams. Zion's obviously the number one.
Oh yeah.
Just not really a question.
Yeah, and by the way, for mine, it's based on the current standings as of
February 19th.
Yes. So next, I have the Knicks doing something really stupid. I have them picking Ja Morant because
And you think this would happen?
yes, because the Knicks have a history of going for.
They already have Dennis Smith Jr.
They're not going to have him next year, are they?
Dennis Smith Jr.
I thought he was on expiring. Is he not?
This is the second year of his rookie deal.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, the Knicks have never failed to disappoint me. Okay,
Especially in drafts.
They got Porzingis,
Of course.
but these are the same guys that drafted Frank Ntilikina over Dennis Smith Jr.
And then traded their franchise player for Dennis Smith Jr. Yes.
Yes.
I'm very aware.
I feel like in an attempt, because they're also trying to get Kyrie Irving, so I don't think Dennis Smith Jr. is in their long-term plans anyway.
I have no idea. I think who they pick is totally dependent on their free agency plans.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, because if they really are going after a Kyrie and they're going after Kevin Durant and they have an inclination that they're going to get both, trade down and get Jarrett Culver. Like it's not that hard. It's not that hard.
Everything's that hard with the Knicks. That's my pick is Ja Morant, not based on any merit. I just think it's because they'll see somebody that they passed up on before. They'll see DSJ in him, and they'll say, well, we passed on him before, and that burned us.
That would be idiotic.
It would be idiotic as hell, but it's also the Knicks.
Fair enough. You can't put anything upside of him. I mean,
I'm guessing you have RJ
of course,
as your second?
Course. Yes, RJ.
Yeah.
I mean, his shot creation is phenomenal. He gets space whenever he wants it. He can shoot off the dribble.
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, I think he's Bradley Beal who can get his own shot.
I think he's Bradley Beal.
Who will be able to get his own shot earlier.
Yes.
And get to a different level of getting his own shot.
He's definitely a better driver and a worse shooter, is what I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
I'd say he's a little bigger. He's a little bigger than Bradley Beal. Better driver.
I think he's longer.
Yeah.
I think he's longer too. He's got a little bit more wiry of a frame, and I don't think his legs are as strong as Beal's. I don't think his hips are strong. I don't think his hips are as strong as Beal either, so he might have some problem getting to the rim in the NBA.
He's also 19.
Also 19.
Yes, so that could definitely adjust itself. And we're going to keep talking about him because I have him at third.
You have him 3?
Yeah,
Cleveland?
Yes.
Okay.
Because Cleveland, I mean, they don't have anybody. They're taking the best player.
I mean, they have Sexton, but he's not that amazing. Let's be real.
They're taking anybody on the board. They're taking the best player.
Of course, yeah.
With Cleveland, if you have a chance to pick up somebody like Barrett, and even Morant, if he fell to them, I think they pick him up.
Well, yeah, you've just got to go for the best prospect, and the best prospect after Zion is RJ, and the one after RJ is Morant. You take the best one.
Yeah.
If you have to trade Sexton, go ahead and get a future first for Sexton. I mean, he's not that good.
Where's Sexton taking you? Sexton's
nowhere,
not taking you anywhere.
Not taking you anywhere. At the very best, you'll be an Eric Bledsoe.
Yeah, very best.
Very best.
John, who do you have third?
Third, I have the Jean Morant.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I do too. I just think he's the third best. I'm not necessarily that crazy on him. I'm not gonna lie.
No.
I don't think he's that good. I mean,
John Morant going this high is a testament to how weak the draft class is.
It's an ode to how weak the top of this draft is. How weak it is star power wise.
Right.
Which I think a lot of people really do underestimate this draft. I think there's going to be some killer role players and some killer 17-point per game career scorers taking this draft.
Mm-hmm.
I think people are just going to overlook them, and I think some really smart teams are going to get really good players on rookie deals.
They're in like the mid rounds probably, like borderline playoff contenders. I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
But
similar to like a Michael Porter Jr. pickup, but not with the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
a team like that.
Yeah, like somebody like the Nuggets is like just about to make their like maybe like the Kings or a team like that
Sure.
could get some like, a big piece.
Get some wing depth.
Yes.
Or big depth also with Caboclo and Garland and
Where you
Charles Bassett.
technically Bol if you want to count him, but I don't know.
I don't know where the fuck he's going.
I don't know either, man. All right, so we've basically got Zion, Morant, and Barrett taken out now. I think
those are the top three. There's no argument.
No. Now, I think the number 4 is also not really an argument. I have Cam Reddish going to the Chicago Bulls.
I do not.
You do not have Cam Reddish fourth. Okay. Who do you have fourth?
I have DeAndre Hunter.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I think DeAndre Hunter, from what I've watched, and granted, I think I've only watched Virginia play like twice.
Right.
I think he is the best defender. Note that I say defender, not total player, that's come out of the draft since Kawhi Leonard.
Really?
He is the definition of switchy. He is phenomenal. His hips are fast. He moves fast laterally. He's big. He can stay in front of guards. I think he'll be able to guard like 1 through 4 day one. And I think he'll be able to be 4th, 5th starter day one in the NBA. I don't think his ceiling's very high. I don't think his 3-point shot is as good as it is in college. I think he's shooting like 40% or something in college. And I don't think that will hold up. There's no other evidence, and it's a relatively small sample size because he's only a sophomore.
So are you basing this off of what you think will happen or what you would personally do?
What I would personally do. This is what I would do. If I was Chicago, they just get the dude who you know can play. At this point, that's what you need. You don't need more power forwards. Even if you're Chicago, you don't need more power forwards.
Right.
Go get a wing.
I think for me, it's just that Reddish has it's just a matter of the fact, like, Reddish has more potential to create for himself, and he's a better offensive player.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but that's not why you're taking RJ.
No.
You're taking RJ because you're going to have, in my opinion, I think you'll have a top six defensive player in the league, maybe the best not the best because of Kawhi and a few other guys, but a top 4 perimeter defender in the league.
I could see that, but I just don't think his ceiling is because I don't think that he's guaranteed to be that. I don't think his ceiling is high enough to justify only that being the ceiling at the number 4.
I think he's pretty guaranteed to be a really good defender. Maybe not like the 4th best perimeter defender in the league, but I think he'll be a phenomenal defender. I think he'll make multiple all defensive teams. Whether that's first or second team, I don't know.
I could see that. It's just the problem is do you really think that he's getting the Bulls far? I mean, I know the Bulls need a defender. But do you really think he's going to get a team any farther than they already are? I mean, I feel like especially
no. Maybe not. I mean, they might have to tank for another year and get another guy.
Like,
but to have the 3-4-5 combo of Hunter, Markkanen, and the kid from Duke they drafted this year, Wendell Carter.
Yeah,
it's kind of a dream front court.
It is kind of. It just kind of seems like teams could have done it in the past and hasn't worked out. Like with let's say Josh Jackson, right? Like Josh Jackson was not good in college. As a KU fan, I watched a lot of his games. He was not good.
Well, Josh Jackson also is not long.
He's not, but his whole billing was that he was supposed to be a really good defender.
But in college he was, just because he could out athletic people.
Right.
But in the pros, I thought it was relatively easy to see that he wasn't going to be that amazing of a defender. He's not that laterally quick. He gambles on a lot. He's not that long. His core strength is nowhere near Hunter's.
Right, but I'm saying that he was picked purely for his defense on a team on a Suns team that's very much like the Bulls.
I get it. I get what you're saying.
And I'm saying I don't think that worked.
I get what you're saying. But all I'm trying to say is I think that they're completely different players. Completely different defensive capabilities, I think is the best thing to say.
That's fair. Okay, so I have Reddish at 4 going to Chicago, and then you have Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
So for 5, I don't want to say it's a homer pick, but I'm going Romeo Langford to Atlanta. Now,
No, that's perfectly fine.
yeah, I think that
totally get that.
With Atlanta, they have their power forward / center of the future. I think he could be more of a center, but he's not big enough. I think
A center? Romeo Langford?
John Collins.
Oh, my bad.
John Collins. I don't know if he can be their center of the future. Either way, he's a big man. They have their point guard. Now they need wing depth and perimeter defenders.
Because they're letting Prince go.
Yes.
Eventually,
and they need perimeter defenders because Trae Young is objectively a black hole on defense. Mm-hmm. And Romeo, out of everybody that's left, has by far the most potential to, I think, create shots for himself.
Not arguable. Well, I think that is arguable. I think Kevin Porter Jr. has more potential to create shots on his own.
That's fair.
I think Kevin Porter Jr. is probably out, maybe even on par with RJ on getting a jump shot off of his dribble.
That's fair. I would also say that.
However, Kevin Porter is just defensively nowhere.
Yeah, that's what
He's nowhere near.
That's what I was going to say. Romeo, I think he has star potential. I think that Romeo does. Romeo is consistent. I think that Romeo's shot has improved a lot over college. I mean,
it has. I mean, we just came back from the Purdue IU game. Well, I mean, I could look up the stats, but he missed one free throw.
Yeah, he all of his shot. Most of his points were off of a 3 and free throws. I mean, he clearly, and we also have both heard talk of the training staff that works with Romeo saying that he shoots very good in free throws in practice, and he's finally starting to apply that to games. I think that
he has a reserved personality. Maybe he's nervous in games.
Right.
However, one thing that I think you do have to highlight with Romeo, opposed to my guy, who is the kid from Texas Tech, whose name I'm forgetting right now, Jarrett Culver. Romeo is a project. Romeo's not going to come. Romeo will probably be, and I mean, at least in my opinion, probably like an 8th, 9th guy on whatever roster he goes to. Just because I don't think offensively he's going to be there from at least a shooting perspective, and I don't think they're going to want to give him the ball to allow him to get to the rim when he wants. I just don't think. Yeah. I just think they're going to have better options on offense.
He's not much of a playmaker, and the ball's not going to be in his hands a lot. Especially if
therefore that kind of negates from his ability to get to the rim.
Right. I mean, especially if he's going to Atlanta, like I said he is. Obviously, Trae Young is going to dominate the ball a lot in Atlanta.
And I mean, they're going to start after giving. They're going to have to give John Collins post touches.
Right.
The kid's phenomenal.
Yeah. So I mean, Langford will be playing a lot more off ball in Atlanta than he would be at Indiana right now. Mm-hmm. And so I think that really it's going to come down to, is his shooting really improved, and does he have 3-point range, or is this kind of a fluke that's going on later in the year? And I truly believe that I don't think that this is a fluke, because there's been talk of him being able to shoot all year.
And I mean, you've kind of seen it. It's been not like an exponential growth pattern. It's been very linear.
Yeah.
He's consistently gotten a little bit better here, a little bit better there, a little bit better there.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you do need to, and whenever you're discussing Romeo Langford, the kid's shooting 56% at the rim. Yeah. He's a phenomenal finisher.
Yeah.
He is strong. His core is strong. His hips are strong. He's got a fantastic build. He's long.
He also is an NBA defender, I think.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Currently, he is already.
I mean, you've brought up the videos of him guarding Zion.
Yes.
He was guarding Carson Edwards for some last night, which proves he can stay on quick guards.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not NBA quick, but pretty quick.
Yeah, I think that he's definitely already an NBA ready defender. Mm-hmm. Who do you have going at 5th?
I have Jarrett Culver.
Okay, so we've already mentioned him a little bit. Very good. You can talk about it more.
I think with Jarrett Culver, I think you're going to get, I think the range of what you're going to get, I don't think you're going to get anything that's a bust. I don't think there's any bust potential. I think what you're going to get is an Otto Porter Jr. to Bradley Beal range.
Okay.
And I could see him land anywhere in there. He's not as good of a defender as Romeo. He's not as athletic as any of these guys. But the kid can shoot.
Right.
The kid can shoot like a motherfucker.
Right. So do you worry about do you worry about comparisons like maybe like Jimmer? Because Jimmer was one of the best years in the nation.
No, he's bigger than Jimmer. He's more athletic than Jimmer.
Right. The release is quicker.
There's just I don't know if his release is quicker than Jimmer because Jimmer had a pretty quick release.
No, it got blocked a lot in the NBA.
Well, that's because it was short.
Yeah, that's
because it was short.
Yeah,
and also Jarrett Culver has pretty long arms. I don't think he's going to be amazing on defense. Like I don't think he's going to be Romeo Langford.
No.
But I think he's just going to be. I think he'll be pretty neutral.
Yeah.
On defense in the NBA, and if you can get a guy who can score, 16 to 18 points a game, and be a really consistent outside threat, and play okay defense. And there's relatively low bust potential. I just feel like you've got to go for it.
Would you say he has high star potential too?
No.
Really?
No. I don't think he has much star potential. There's a chance I'm wrong, and he's way more athletic than I think he is.
Right.
I don't know though.
Well, because you're saying that he has the ability to create a shot for himself, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I think he can to an extent, but
Right.
not. I mean, if you want somebody to create their own shot, this is not the guy to take. I think this is a guy who's going to play in the parameters of an offense. He's going to run off screens. He's going to help space the floor for other guys.
Right. That makes sense.
I mean, just like how Ray Allen couldn't get his own shot, it doesn't mean he's not going to.
Oh, Ray Allen can get his own, especially in his prime.
Boston Ray Allen couldn't. That's
Okay.
That's the Ray Allen that I'm talking about.
Okay.
I mean, that doesn't mean that he's not a good. That doesn't mean he's not a good offensive player. It's just not how you should utilize that player.
That's fair. Boston Ray Allen could still get his own shot. He wasn't meant to.
in the parameters of the offense.
Yeah.
I think with Jarrett Culver there should still be a primary ball handler to create offense.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
So a Trae Young I think would be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would get him and I think Trae Young going to the rim draws in a lot of gravity. I think that would get a lot of open threes for Jarrett Culver.
I can see that.
All right, who's your six?
So 6 would be the Memphis Grizzlies. They still have their pick because they're in the bottom 8.
Yeah.
Celtics only get their pick.
Top eight protect them.
Mm-hmm. And this one I'm reaching a little bit. This was probably the pick that I was the least sure about.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really taking a flyer on Rui Hachimura going to Memphis.
I get it.
I think that for Hachimura, he's shown more flashes this year than a lot of other guys. I think sometimes teams are looking for that. I think that he's shown he can dominate games.
On the defensive end?
On the defensive end especially, he's not a polished offensive player.
No, he's
by
not.
any means.
No, he's not.
But he's one of the longer players in the draft. He's shown he can be amazing defensively, and I think in this draft it's especially weak. He's shown more bursts of NBA potential than other players that below him.
Do you mean are you talking star potential or just like good player potential?
I'm talking about like a player that can actively contribute to an NBA team.
Gotcha.
And like be a positive on a team.
Got it.
Because he has shown some signs of an outside shot. He hasn't been consistently fantastic outside, but he's shown signs of an outside shot. And I mean, the frame is amazing on the kid. I think he's like 6'8".
He's like 6'8", 6'9", and has like a 7-foot wingspan.
Yeah, and again, I think he's something that teams would take a flyer on, especially Memphis, just because I feel like it's something exciting for that fan base. They don't really have much to get excited about, and they don't have a lot of wing players right now. I think he's something that can help them out.
I do have one problem with that logic.
So,
Rui is a power forward.
yeah,
He's not a small forward.
Yeah.
He couldn't play small forward.
I would agree.
I don't think Jaren Jackson is ready to play center right now, based on his rebounding numbers. I mean,
Yeah.
what's Jaren Jackson Jr. averaging right now? 6.5 boards.
I mean, he's a power forward playing next to Marcus Gasol.
Well, Marc Gasol.
He's not a rebounder. He's not.
I mean, how many rebounds is Marc Gasol getting? 7.
Yeah, probably less. Marcus Gasol's a terrible rebounder.
I mean, but Jaren Jackson is also.
I would agree with that. But
my problem is as of right now, Rui's like a very meh rebounder. I mean, he's getting like 6.5 right now, so let's say that's 5 in the pros. You just can't have your backcourt getting like 12 rebounds, and that's just not enough rebounding.
I don't think Rui would be a starter his freshman year.
Well, no, but in crunch time,
his first year.
In crunch time, that's who you're going to play is Rui in. I mean, at least that's what you want to later, like
Right.
3 or 4 years down the road.
Eventually.
That's what you want to do.
Right.
And I mean, if you take Rui with that pick, you have to be banking on Jaren Jackson to become a better rebounder.
Well,
and I just don't know if that's a safe thing to do, especially in Especially when you can get maybe a perimeter defender.
Well,
or
my thing
somebody
is I'm talking about Rui's frame more than Rui. So in terms of rebounding, if you remember Giannis when he came into the league, was not a rebounder really, but now he's averaging 13 rebounds a game just because he added on to you could tell that his frame had room to add muscle, and I can see the same thing in Rui. I feel like Rui would be able to add enough muscle to become a plus rebounder. Mm. And I'm pretty sure he's shooting pretty well from three on not many attempts, if I'm correct.
Yeah, he's shooting 42.3% on 0.4 attempts.
Yeah, so he's showing flashes that he can shoot. It's not consistent. Don't get me wrong.
No, it's not
consistent. But at least he's showing that he can shoot theoretically. He's not a Ben Simmons.
Mm-hmm. The problem with getting him as a prospect opposed to somebody who can contribute right away. This is his junior year. He's 21.
That is fair.
Which is kind of scary. And I don't think he's nearly as athletic as even I don't know. I just don't think he's that athletic. Mm-hmm. I think his build somebody might say, okay, this guy's super that might allude to more athleticism than he actually has. If I was Memphis, I'd look for a guard in this draft. Or I think the perfect person for them to take, maybe trade down a few spots, I think the perfect person to play alongside Jaren Jackson Jr. would be Brandon Cook. I think that is a match made in heaven.
Brandon Cook, yeah, I can see it, because either one of them can play. So you're saying center or center forward, basically.
I mean, I think you play Brandon Cook at center. At least on offense you do, because Jaren Jackson can shoot a little better. I mean, it's gonna clog spacing for a little bit, but I also think Brandon Cook has some shooting potential, especially mid-range. Mm-hmm. I mean, he shoots some threes in college, so it's not a lot, but I don't see why he couldn't figure it out. I mean, because he's shown the aptitude to shoot them in college, so I don't see why he couldn't figure it out in the pros. And also defensively, that would be a fucking nightmare.
Oh yeah,
that would probably be. I'm gonna say a top 5 defensive backcourt in the league, as of the year when they get drafted.
Right.
I have no problem saying that.
I think that makes sense. I honestly think that makes sense. Is that who you had going?
Let me check my phone real quick. Sorry.
You're good. This would be 6th.
This is 6. I have Cam.
Okay. So we already talked about Cam, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I have a few guys over him, so.
He's mostly fallen because his main attraction was being a shooter, and he just doesn't
shoot. And then that kind of raises the question: why would you have Cam over Jarrett Culver? You know what I mean? Because neither of them are that athletic. Obviously, Cam is way more athletic than Jarrett Culver. Nobody would ever try to argue that.
Yeah.
And Cam has more getting his own shot potential.
He does.
But, I mean, dude, if they're shooters and one can't shoot, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And you're getting gravity from R.J. Barrett and Zion going to the rim.
Yeah, that is definitely fair.
I mean, it's kind of scary. It almost seems like a wasted pick in my.
I think that he has potential to shoot. I think he has a potential to be a good shooter. I think that he still hasn't figured out what he's doing. I feel like when you're hesitant, that messes up your shot a lot.
Sure.
I feel like if he has his own role in an offense, he would be a better shooter again.
Sure. I mean, maybe he would. I don't know. I've got no idea because I really don't have any evidence of that. But in theory, it very, very well could.
All right. So,
who's your 7?
So this is something that I'm getting a little bit more and more confident in. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is a risky one. I have Bol going to Washington at 7. I know John's making faces.
I am making very, very many faces.
Washington just needs
a big.
No, they need a star big because they have no other way to acquire star talent through trades, free agency, anything. Their cap is basically flooded for the rest of the next 5 years. Mm-hmm. They have no way to acquire star players, and they also need a big man. Mm-hmm. And there is no player that has the potential to be a star big man in this draft, with the exception of Bol.
Offensive star, you're 100% right. That's not really an argument.
I mean,
unless you're stupidly high on Bruno Caboclo or something dumb.
Fernando. You said Bruno Caboclo.
Oh God! Wow.
You're good.
Or maybe Jonte Porter. You're just insanely high on, but
clearly they don't have as much potential as Bol does.
No, they don't.
I think this is a pick out of desperation. Washington's clearly desperate.
But my question: why wouldn't you just take somebody on the wing?
Because
why wouldn't you stab in the dark at somebody? I mean, even if you get like I don't know, Keldon Johnson, 6'6". I mean, don't get me wrong, the defense would be terrible with him and Bradley Beal playing the 2-3. But you could get a lengthy 4 and then a 5. I mean, like they
just don't have anybody at center. I mean, they really don't.
Well, they can get Dwayne Dedmon in free agency in like another year. Like, wait, you'll be fine. Use your MLE. I just don't. I'm just not. Unless you know that a big is gonna really produce for you, I just do not feel comfortable taking a big in the lottery unless you know that big is gonna be at the very least a decent, like a pretty good starter in the NBA.
I'd say that's fair. I just don't think Washington has many other options. I think if they got another one of the wings, like how much better would those wings be than Otto Porter? Any of them. I mean,
okay, Kevin Porter Jr. could be like a 24 point per game scorer in the league. I mean, there's just a chance. Do I think he will?
They already have their shot creators on the team too. On the Washington Wizards, he definitely wouldn't be. There's just no room for him to be.
Okay, I get.
He wouldn't have the ball instinct. The only way they can add another player that can contribute to that team is a player like Bull that's primarily defensively focused and doesn't need the ball in their hands to score.
Sure.
I think.
Sure.
I just don't think they have many other options. Honestly.
I'm kind of looking at my guys. Nasir Little might make sense.
Are you saying for Washington or you're at the 7th pick?
For Washington. I mean, granted, it's not the same offensive punch.
They don't even need the offensive punch. It's just like, I don't know. For me, like, how much more is Nasir Little really going to help out than Otto Porter? Like, I don't know. They're awful with Otto Porter.
I mean, it's a train of thought. I get what you're coming from. I get where you're coming from. Is this pick 7?
This is pick 7.
I have Romeo.
Yeah, that's fair. I think we've already talked pretty in depth about Romeo, right?
Yeah, you're 8. Well, I mean, unless you want to say anything else about Bull.
Nah, I mean,
I would stay clear. I wouldn't draft him.
I'll be honest, I wouldn't draft him either.
But you could see Washington doing it.
I could definitely.
And you understand a train of thought in which Washington.
Yes, I would avoid Bull at all costs. I don't think it's a good idea. But next, New Orleans. This is where
this is where you've just gotta take a star with this pick. In my opinion, you just got, because if they want to keep this organization in this city, you've got to get a star. You cannot get a 10-point per game role player with this pick.
Yeah.
You've got to sell jerseys.
Yeah. I mean, I went with the player that people were talking about with the most star potential coming into the draft, and that was Nasir Little. I think that he has the body and the frame to be a star. He just doesn't. I don't think the only reason he's not going higher at this point is because he hasn't shown it.
Well, no, it's because Roy Williams doesn't play him, because Roy Williams is old and doesn't understand how to use modern day power forwards.
Right.
I mean, he's just like, Roy Williams is just old.
Yeah.
He doesn't really understand. But for this pick, I have Kevin Porter Jr. And I think that would make perfect sense. Kevin Porter Jr., obviously the attitude issues are annoying. At the very best, they're annoying. At the very worst, some teams I bet you just wouldn't take him.
Right.
But the dude has undeniable talent. Honestly, he's probably outside of RJ. He's probably just the most talented basketball player. I mean, Zion's better because of his physical build. But just the amount of moves he has to get his own shot. Mm-hmm. The dude's got some serious talent. He's got insane bust potential.
He does.
He's got incredible bust potential. If you told me he was a 24-point per game career scorer, or at the height of his career scorer, I wouldn't be surprised. If you told me he was going to be out of the league in 3 years, wouldn't be surprised. I think he has the biggest range of variation.
I would say Nasir Little's pretty similar to that. Not in terms of scoring, but in terms of either being a star or out of the league. I can see that with either of those players.
I don't think Nasir Little will ever be a star.
I can see him being a star.
I see him just being a really good glue, not even a glue guy, just a really good help defender.
That's fair.
I mean, just good defender, maybe just shoot some threes.
I guess by star, I mean someone that helps the team as much of a star.
Gotcha.
Like someone that's everywhere on the court. I feel like he could be someone that's everywhere on the court.
That's a fair statement.
All right, so I think we gotta move on a little bit quicker. It's a bottom pick. These are basically draft sheets.
Sure. 9.
I have Bruno going to Atlanta with 9.
I think the best big in this draft, I don't really think it's an argument, is Brandon Cook. I mean, the dude, when you watch him, He just doesn't make mistakes. Like, he's gone, like, I've watched, like, 1 or 2 Gonzaga games, and I remember one of the games I watched did not make a mistake. I forget who they were playing, but did not make a mistake. And for a college kid to do that, it's incredible. And if you're a front office and you think Brandon Cook, if you have reason to think he can develop a 3-point shot, like a good 3-point shot, you take him with a top 3 pick. I don't care.
Well,
you just get the dude. In most mock drafts, he's like, in most real, not ESPN mock drafts, in most real, I mean, what is he, 14 in most of them?
I think somewhere around there, probably.
If you know this guy can shoot, do not wait for another team to get him. Go and take him.
So explain to me more about why, because I'm not as familiar with Brandon Cook as you are.
He's the best player second best player in college this year.
Okay.
Just all around phenomenal dude. He can rebound. He defends. He's not as good as like a weak side shot blocker as like Zion, but he can do that. He can protect the rim, not shot blocking. He can move his feet in transition. On the perimeter, he's good in transition. He's a good roller. He is a prototype big. But the only thing that he can't do is shoot. And he's not insanely athletic either.
He's not insanely strong either, right?
He's 6'8". He's very Tristan Thompson-like in build.
See that? So what makes him different than Tristan Thompson?
The hope that he can shoot, and he's just a far better defender. He's just he's just smarter than Tristan Thompson.
Not as good a rebounder, right?
He's a pretty solid rebounder. I'll pull up his stats right now, but I think he's averaging over 10.
Okay. What's it?
I mean, Brandon, how the hell do you spell his name?
If I would have to guess, probably...
Oh, my computer's lagging.
It's fine. Does he go to...
Gonzaga.
Gonzaga? Okay. So I think...
Oh my god, this is so embarrassing.
It's not...
His name is Brandon Clark. I'm a fucking fool.
For keeping that one in. I'll be honest, I admitted that I knew nothing about him, so you were supposed to be the expert on this one.
Yeah, his name is Brandon Clark. I'm sure people have already turned off the podcast. That's really embarrassing. But yeah, his name is Brandon Clark. But he's not that good of a rebounder. Okay, we're just gonna move on. He's not that amazing of a rebounder.
He's also a junior.
I think he's a senior.
Oh, wait, what? It says here he's a junior.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Well, he might have had a year where he declared...
Where he's a redshirt?
He might have redshirt, because it says 2016 to 2019 on College Basketball Reference.
Right.
He is old. I'm not saying that he's going to get better athletically.
Right.
But he's averaging about 8.2 rebounds a game.
Okay. I'll be honest, I'm not that high on Brandon Clark. I don't think.
Why'd I call him Brandon Cook?
There's a football player named Brandon Cooks.
Maybe I'm thinking, I don't know. But he's also shooting 36.4% from 3 this year on, where is it?
Negative 2 attempts a game.
The same as Rui.
Yeah, I mean...
And his free throw percentage has also gotten better throughout his college career. Like, last year, he was at San Jose State. He shot, or 2 years ago, I guess, because he redshirted. Yes. He shot 57%. This year he's shooting 67%. If he can shoot 75%, he's fine.
I just don't see... He just seems like a center that's not a great rebounder, not a great shooter.
Well, I don't think in the modern day NBA you necessarily have to be that good of a rebounder. And also
you're saying he's like a Tristan Thompson kind of guy? Like Tristan
I
Thompson...
mean, he is similar. He's similar to Tristan Thompson.
Tristan Thompson weighs 25 more pounds and is 2 inches taller. Tristan Thompson's officially 6'10".
Tristan Thompson is 6'10"?
Yes, and he's 238 pounds.
Huh?
Yes.
I thought Tristan Thompson was 6'8". Damn.
No, and this guy's 6'8". He's 205.
Yeah.
He's not a great rebounder or shooter.
I mean, he can, when you're in the NBA, you're gonna put on muscle. He's gonna gain that weight. But yeah, I mean, the main thing with Clark is his intelligence.
Right.
If you can have a center that just doesn't make mistakes on defense, and is just in the right place. In this draft, fucking take him at 9, dude.
I would still take Bruno, I think. I think Bruno...
Oh, I would not.
Why not?
Because Bruno gambles on everything, and he is a terrible. Well, he's not terrible, but he's a very bad defender.
That's fair.
I mean, he has a lot more athletic potential.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Because especially in this draft.
I don't think you should be taking Bruno Fernandez, based on potential. I just don't think that's a smart choice.
I don't know. I think if you're Atlanta, I think it's... Like, I really don't think that Clark would... I think Clark's honestly... He might be a bigger risk body-wise than Bruno Fernando. I mean...
Is it Fernando or Fernandez?
It's Fernando.
Fernando, okay.
Because at least Bruno Fernando, with him, you know that he has the body for the NBA. Right? I mean, he may not be a great defender, but at least you know that he has the unteachable assets. You need to teach him things.
Sure.
Brandon Clark, I mean...
Sure. But you could put Brandon Clark on power forwards if you have John Collins.
But
like,
then...
That's fine.
I still feel like you don't have any rim protection then. You have no...
John Collins has a huge wingspan. And Brandon Clark is a really good rim protector.
No, but what I'm saying is... I'm sorry. What I meant by rim protection is like... Let's say you have like a big man out there, like a Boogie, Joel Embiid. Neither of them are really putting out too much resistance.
No, but they're going to be fast as fuck as a team.
Right.
I mean, it's just what style of play you want to play. And if they're really committed to running with Trae Young,
right,
maybe grab him.
Then I could see that. I could see what you're saying with the running with Trae Young. I could definitely see that.
I don't know. If you have any inclination that this guy is going to shoot 37% from three, you take him with a top 5 pick.
Brandon Clark?
Yeah, you take him with a top 5 pick. In this draft, if you can get a dude who's going to score 15 and grab 9 rebounds a game and shoot 37% from three on some decent attempts, you do it. You get it and you do it, and you're happy with that. I've heard a lot of people say that if you think he's going to shoot, you take him like 3.
Really?
I wouldn't be surprised if a team reached for him.
All right, well, we'll see about that one on the draft. I think we've argued enough about that one. We'll see what the draft comes. I'm just going to finish up really quick with 10.
Sure,
At 10, I have Hunter.
You have Hunter?
Yeah, I have him in there.
Oh, God, that's far down. I have Nasir Little. I mean, I have Nasir Little for like the same reasons that I had Hunter originally. I mean, switchy defender. I think he has more potential than Hunter on the offensive side of the ball. Maybe not so much shooting, but going off of closeouts, and maybe as a ball handler and a little bit of a playmaker, maybe. That'd be cool. You never know. I see a lot of like Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
Yeah, me too, which is not good.
In Nasir Little. But,
Which is not a good thing. But
no, that's not a good thing.
No.
That's actually a terrible thing.
I think that's enough with the draft, because honestly, let's be honest, I don't think either of us know what we're talking about that much.
Well, no, we don't.
No,
I don't. I think with how indistinguishable these players are, I don't think anybody has any fucking clue.
No. Because everybody in this draft is like a 6'7", 6'8" guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or a big who's very meh.
Because you can't tell with bigs ever.
No, you can't. You can't. You have no idea. All right, let's move on. We're doing next thing we're going to do is 2/3 of the way done with the season awards.
So, let's start.
I guess let's start with the smaller ones. Let's start with 6-man.
Okay, who do you have?
I have no idea.
Do you want me to start out then?
Go for it.
I think my biggest one would be Spencer Dinwiddie.
I just was about to say that.
Really? Yeah, I think Spencer Dinwiddie, I'm not going to say that he has it on lock, but I think that, especially the guards, he's the front runner. I think he's been better than Derrick Rose. I think
he's a better player than Derrick. I mean, Dennis Schroeder.
I don't think you... Dennis Schroeder started too many games, I think.
Huh?
I mean, Russell Westbrook's been out a fair amount of games.
Really?
Yeah, Dennis Schroeder started a solid probably 9 games.
I didn't know that. Oh, Julius Randle. Oh wait, does he start or did Nico start?
Julius Randle definitely started when Nico was out, because Nico was out for a really long time.
I don't know. I mean, Julius Randle or Nico. I mean, depending on what they're gonna play, if they're gonna start, if Nico's gonna start off of his trade.
I just think that they A, cancel each other out, and B, both have reasons not to due to playing time. I think that Sabonis is a good candidate.
Sabonis is my pick.
Really?
Sabonis is my pick.
I think that's fair. I think Sabonis is a good pick. I don't know. I tend to think Sabonis is just a tiny bit overrated, just a tad.
You think?
Just because people have been saying, like, I do agree. I like seeing him get better because I've been rooting for him since he, like, basically was abused on the Thunder.
Yeah, they just sat him in the corner.
Yeah, I hated watching that. Like, just as much as the next guy. But I do feel like his whole, like, breakout, he's been really good. Don't get me wrong. But I feel he has... I don't think he's been better than Dinwiddie this year. I think he's been shooting amazing. He's been shooting...
I mean, the dude's shooting 60% from the field and 57% from three. Granted, it's on .3 or something attempts a game.
Yeah.
But...
I mean, 14 points and 9 assists in, like, 25 minutes a game. By itself. That's just really impressive.
Awesome. That's awesome. Oh, yeah, by the way, back to Brandon Clark. I didn't tell you this, but I think he has a PER of 37. He does have a PER of 37.
Damn.
Yeah, but random tidbit. Okay, back to Damon, back to the sixth man. So I'm at Demonis, you're at Spencer.
I think Spencer is also, like, I know that the Pacers have more wins, but I would say Spencer has contributed to more wins.
Yeah, he absolutely has. Maybe win shares don't show it, but I just think he's a better player.
Yeah, well, I mean, because especially with Dinwiddie, he definitely has less talent around him on his team, right? I mean...
Maybe. I mean, that's debatable, to be honest, with Victor down.
I mean, because
who's the best scorer?
You do realize this Nets team actively plays Jared Dudley 22 minutes a game.
I was not aware of that.
They play Jared Dudley 22 minutes a game.
I was not aware
I feel like
of
people
that.
don't understand how they... Ooh, they also have the most underrated bummy player in the league, Travion Graham. In the last 20 games, he's been playing...
let's keep on track.
Well, I just want to talk about Travion Graham.
Okay,
Please, I've been waiting to tell you about
go for it.
Okay, so in the last 20 games, he's playing 23 minutes a game. He's averaging 5 points. And he's shooting 33% from the field and 27% from three.
So he'll be out of the league next year?
Yeah, probably.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
But anyway.
Good talk.
Yeah, they suck. He's good. Next.
Okay. All right. Next thing.
Do you want to do rookie?
Yeah, I'll do rookie of the year.
All
I mean, Luka. There's not really it.
Luka. All right, next.
I mean, okay, let's do rookie of the year if it's not Luka
If it's not Luka.
or Dion. Oh, okay, because we can get
Trey. I think Trey Young.
Jaren Jackson. No argument.
Jaren Jackson. Here's the thing, man. I would have said Jaren Jackson back when the Grizzlies were good and the Hawks were bad. But if you look, the Grizzlies are only like 2 or 3 games ahead of the Hawks right now.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it because of their team success. I just think Jaren Jackson has been better.
Trae Young has also been way better recently. Trae Young has shot.
What's his percentage at from 3-point right now?
He's at like 315 now, which is, I mean, if you compare that to where he was before, he's been shooting. I think the past month he's averaged 20 points, 8 assists a game.
I mean, that's incredible.
On I believe like 45% from the field and 35% from three.
Well, that's incredible.
Which is insane. I mean, he's been shooting 80% from the free throw line all year. He's only playing 30 minutes a game, and he's averaging 17 points and 8 assists a game. I mean, he's very clearly the lead guy on his team, while Jaren Jackson is very clearly a supporting piece on his team.
That is a good point. That is a good point. But I still can't get over how atrocious Trae Young was up to this point.
Oh yeah, no, that's a totally reasonable. That's a totally reasonable viewpoint. Don't get me wrong. I am a very noted Trae Young dick rider. I mean, I love Trae Young, but I do think that Jaren Jackson Jr. would definitely be deserving of the award too. I just think he's less of a part of his team.
That's a fair point, and I mean Trae is a guard. He handles the ball, so he's obviously going to have a lot more offenses ran through him. That's all fair.
Right, and Jaren Jackson, as we were saying before, not a great rebounder. Especially for like a power forward center.
No, he's a terrible rebounder.
He's a terrible rebounder.
But he also does a lot of things that don't show.
His shooting has come back down to earth a little bit.
I mean, but what was his? I mean, at one point this year, he was in the top 5 defensive rating lineups.
Oh yeah,
in the league, like they were all different variants of Grizzlies.
Like I said, if this was back when the Grizzlies were in the playoffs and the Hawks sucked, I would have picked him. But they're literally like 3 games apart now.
Yeah.
So I would go Trae Young.
That's fair.
Do we care about Coach of the Year?
Let me think about that.
If we do care about Coach of the Year, it's Nate McMillan for me. It's either Nate McMillan or Malone.
It's Nate McMillan.
I would say it's Nate McMillan.
Yeah, that's not really.
Oh wait, Bud.
No, because I could have done Bud's job. And it's literally just shoot more threes.
Yeah, that is true. Replacing Jason Kidd is not that hard.
And what did he say? Don't swarm people when they have the ball. Stay on your man.
Yes.
Like,
what?
Okay.
Wait, people can pass out of double teams?
Fucking Deron Davis can't.
Yeah, well, Jawns Davis can't, but yeah. So yeah, I think it's between Nate McMillan and Bud, maybe Malone.
It's Nate McMillan should get it.
I think Nate McMillan should get it too. He just has so much less talent.
He's literally just got like. Imagine you.
Who's his best player?
Bogdanovich, or Miles Turner.
I'd say Miles Turner probably is. But like, his best player is averaging 13.5 points a game. I mean, his best player isn't even playing 30 minutes a game.
Miles Turner isn't playing 30 minutes a game.
No, he's playing 28.5. So I mean, yeah, what he's done with the Pacers, I don't know.
It is crazy.
The Sixers basically have 4 All-Stars and they have a worse record.
I think Boston does.
Yes, Boston does as well, and OKC does.
That's incredible.
So they're only 3 games out of the Warriors. Fucking weird. So
all right, next let's get into the fun ones.
Yes.
Which ones do we have left?
Most improved is probably the least important.
Most improved. I mean, I have 2 people.
This one's really hard.
I have 2 people, but I have one that I lean towards.
Okay.
Pascal is my one.
Right.
But I do want to. Who's yours?
I gotta go Pascal. I think Pascal. Yeah.
Do you have somebody second?
So here's like my list of second people. I think you have to consider John Collins.
Oh, De'Aaron Fox has to get a shout also.
De'Aaron Fox, yep. I was going. I think Buddy Hield.
That was going to be my guy.
Biggin. D'Lo on the down low.
I think those are like the 5 guys that you've kind of got to pay attention to.
You got to choose between them.
Mm-hmm. And I think Buddy Hield needs to get a shout out. I don't think people understand how historically good he's been shooting the ball this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's shooting 7.6 attempts from behind the arc.
Yeah.
On 45%.
Which is absolutely insane.
I mean, besides Steph, this is probably the best shooting year of all time.
It's probably up there, yeah.
I mean, maybe Clay has a year.
Yeah, I'd say Steph also has multiple years.
Well, I said besides Steph.
Right, yeah. I think that...
I mean, the dude's scoring 20 points a game, dude.
Yeah, I mean, that is really insane. It's the same general thing for D'Lo, but not on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
And D'Lo also is just coming off an injury-riddled year.
Sure.
I think...
Buddy Hield came out of nowhere, in my opinion.
I think he did too. I agree. Especially...
It's weird because he's getting better at a really late stage in his career because Buddy Hield's 26.
Well, no. Also, Buddy Hield wasn't getting minutes last year. Buddy Hield wasn't getting consistent minutes. No. He was getting about 24 minutes a game.
25, but that's a good statement.
He wasn't getting because he also my thing is that he wasn't getting consistent minutes. All of last year, I was saying he should get more minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was around this. The reason I didn't have him as high is because I think he was this good last year, but he just wasn't given like the same opportunity.
Well, I mean, looking at his splits, they were still really good last year.
Exactly,
like 43% from 3.
Yeah, that's because I feel like people were sleeping on Buddy Hield, and now they kind of woke up.
That's fair.
Some other names for most improved I can throw out there. People just don't mention Tobias Harris, which I don't quite know why.
Well, Tobias Harris was really good last year.
At the end of last year,
I knew, or at least I think a lot of people know.
Yeah, I think he was kind of like Buddy Hield, but more people knew about him.
Yeah, fair enough.
Another one would have to be like just some of the Spurs guys. Like you always have your classic Spurs come out of nowhere, like Brent Forbes. Just because he was so shitty.
But people who win most improved aren't like people who go from nothing to like a 10-point per game scorer. They're like a 10-point per game scorer to like a 20-point per game scorer.
Really interesting one for me. This is gonna be my last one.
Mm-hmm.
But why is nobody talking about like Paul George?
Because he's so established as a star, and that's just not how the award works.
I know, but like,
I mean, you can make an argument for it, but that's just not how the award's given.
He's averaging like 6 more points a game, which is like a bigger jump than Oladipo was last year.
Mm-hmm.
On way
more rebounds too, right?
Way more rebounds, way better shooting from the entire field. Like if you're talking about who is actually the most improved from last year,
it probably is Paul George.
It probably is.
I mean, in going from what did he score, 24 to 30 points per game, is a far harder jump than from 13 to 20.
Especially when you up your percentages by that much.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, I feel like people really just don't talk about him because he was already so good. But in my opinion, like if it's really talking about the most improved player.
Yeah, but he's regressed a little bit on defense. Just because he's been shouldering more of the offensive load.
I can see that.
But I mean, in a vacuum, I think he is the guy you choose.
Yeah.
I think he is.
So who's your actual choice for who do you think is right now?
Most improved?
Yes.
Pascal.
Yeah, I would say pass. We didn't even talk about him.
I mean, he literally came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean.
I called it out.
You did.
Yeah.
I think you did.
Yeah, I did. At the beginning of the year, I thought it was a fairly easy one.
Mm-hmm. I think I had him as about second or third.
Yeah.
I was really hoping Markelle Fultz, man.
I told you that was dumb.
No, I didn't even say it was going to be Markelle Fultz. Maybe I did.
I think you did.
It was just out of hope, if I'm honest. Like, deep down, I knew that, I knew that he would still suck, but I really wanted him to, so I just...
At least you tried.
Yeah.
At least you tried.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm a Sixers fan.
Depoy.
There's
only one acceptable name. I'm gonna see if you can. I just want to see if you get it.
I mean, I would probably go Giannis.
What?
What?
Rudy Gobert?
Dude, Giannis is...
No, don't get me wrong. He's fantastic. Giannis is an unreal defender.
His team is the best defensive rating in the league.
Yes, I know, but Rudy Gobert is just...
Who else is a defender on the Bucks? Dude, Brooke Lopez is their center.
Brooke Lopez is actually a really good rim protector. His opponent field goal percentage...
Used to be.
Is it not this year?
No. Done a lot less athletic. Dude, their point guard is freaking Eric Bledsoe.
He's a neutral defender.
Yeah, he's neutral. I'm saying, who else is a good defender on this team? They actively employed Ersan Ilyasova as their power forward for 50 games. Malcolm Brogdon is in their starting lineup.
He's good.
He's average.
Malcolm Brogdon's a good defender.
He's average.
I would fight you that Malcolm Brogdon is a good defender.
Malcolm Brogdon is average, bro.
I think he's good.
He's a 6'5".
Chris Middleton is average.
Chris Middleton's, average. Giannis Antetokounmpo is the only player that is actively a good defender on this team, and they're the number one defense in the league. And it's only him, Brooke Lopez, and Ilyasova who are the big men, and they have the best field goal percentage against the
That's a fair argument. I would still...
I don't see how you don't give it to Giannis. Honestly. I really don't see how.
You kind of have convinced me, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to try to bring in Rudy Gobert leading the league in win shares, but I think that's kind of more of an offensive and defensive thing.
Win shares are just stupid. Also, if you're a center, you're going to have more win shares than any other kind of player.
Very true. You know what? I'll go with Giannis too. That was a good argument.
Yeah.
MVP.
They're so underrated defensively, the Bucks. I don't know.
MVP. I think there's three people. I mean, there really is.
I think there's really only two.
But Paul George is kind of...
Paul George kind of counts.
He's kind of put himself in the conversation, but...
He has, and no one's picking Paul George. Let's be honest here.
No. I mean, maybe some, Harden haters will go for George.
Can I be honest? I really wish, I don't wish that he would actually win, but I wish people would at least say Steph Curry. I feel like people are extremely disrespectful.
Yes, you're right. But he has Kevin Durant,
dude,
et cetera.
Remember when he averaged 50, 40, 90 and scored 30 points a game, and people unanimously voted him as MVP and said that was the second best season of all time? He's doing the same thing, basically, this year. I mean, it's he's 12 field goal percentage off.
But people need a narrative.
Oh, I know.
People need a narrative.
I know. I'm not even saying he should be. I'm just saying, it's...
He needs to put some respect on that name.
It's ridiculous how no one even mentions him. I feel
You're right. You're 100% right, dude.
But, yeah. Sorry, I had to say that.
You're good. But my MVP is, it's James Harden.
Yeah, me too. No, it's James Harden. I think people... I think Giannis is fair because his team is the best record in the league. He's the defensive player of the year, in my opinion. He's playing really well. If Russell Westbrook won over James Harden, then James Harden should win over Giannis Antetokounmpo.
You're right.
Because it's the same argument both ways.
You're 100% right.
You know? I mean,
no.
37 points a game, dude.
Kobe got fucked when he scored 36.
Yeah, but here's the thing, too.
Kobe was so much more efficient.
Well, Harden's team's also way better than Kobe's.
Very true.
And Harden is working with,
dog shit.
Yes. I mean, I think they literally found Kenneth Faried, in a box on the street asking for spare change.
You know what needs to be...
And he's scoring 17 points a game.
You know what needs to be discussed, right now?
What?
Chris Paul's contract is the second worst contract in the NBA.
Yes. Who's first? Wall?
John Wall.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I feel so bad for Harden.
I do too, but if I was Houston, I wouldn't have given... I told people they should not give Chris Paul this contract. This is stupid.
Chris Paul literally rigged the NBA to give him the contract.
He literally single-handedly wrote the collective bargaining
it would literally be like Donald Trump raising the president's salary by $5 trillion. It's just not... I don't think that's fair how that works.
Yeah,
it shouldn't...
But... I don't know. I think these max contracts are gonna just like cease to be a thing.
Yeah,
Because
eventually.
like if like think about like the Charlotte Hornets, are you gonna give a 34-year-old Kemba Walker $45 million? Who in the fucking right mind? What logical thinking human being would do that?
I don't know. I mean, but can I go back to like? I feel like James Harden may end his career as the most underappreciated player in NBA history.
Yeah.
Because
of his play style.
no, well, it's also because in the playoffs, right? Every year, James Harden is like the only player on his team that his coach asks to do anything, and then people give him a shit when he like is tired in the playoffs. Like, what do you want from the guy?
I understand.
I mean,
I'm 100%. I'm 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, he doesn't play defense. I'm like, yeah, well, if he wasn't on the team.
Because he's fucking shooting the ball 25 times
Yeah,
a game.
if he wasn't on the team, they would be the worst team in the league. So, of course, he doesn't fucking play defense.
All right. Do you want to call it here?
Yeah, sorry. I
No, you're good. No,
people, James Harden should be a 4-time MVP after this year.
Well, by that same logic, LeBron should be like a 25-time MVP.
No, I'm saying, though, like he was in the conversation.
Yeah. I get what you're
Like,
saying.
he should have, like, I don't know why Curry won over him. I don't know why Russell Westbrook won over him. He should win this year.
Well, the narrative, to be honest, that is why.
The James Harden one, there wasn't. Like,
The James Harden one.
the Russell Westbrook one.
The narrative?
I get the narrative of Westbrook, but, like, the narrative had always been before that it was, the rules were you had to be a decent team.
True. And he was the first one who didn't, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, not the first one. He was, like, the first one in which it was relevant. Like, I think Kareem won it back when the Magic had, like, no wins.
Magic.
The Lakers.
You mean the Bucks?
No, the Lakers. He won an MVP with the Lakers when they weren't that good.
Oh, there was 1 year, wasn't there? Because the Lakers traded all their assets to Milwaukee and were bad for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot about that. All right, we're gonna call it there.
Yes.
All right, thanks for listening, everyone. We'll try to get episode 8
Yes.
out relatively soon, and maybe we'll hit the All NBA teams then.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
All right, peace out, guys.